second now. There we go. Have a good show,
Welcome
boys.
back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fastest podcast on the airwaves today. It is the Cat Corner Podcast with your host, Ernest, the Cat Miller, the three-time world karate champion, WCW legend, WWE legend, soon to be a Hall of Famer. I just know it down deep in my freaking heart. And I am Ray W. Don't mean to trouble you, Keziah, a.k.a. Big Shug, the manager of future Hall of Famers. We're coming to you live on YouTube. And we would like to thank our sponsor, Recite. And we got a new commercial. Check this out.
To most, this looks done, broken, hopeless, a teardown. But wiping the slate clean, that costs more than money. It costs time, resources, and waste. Recite sees more. Beneath the wear, potential. Beneath the cracks, opportunity. We reinforce, we regrade, we reimagine. Because smart fixes save time, money, and the planet. What's old isn't broken, it just needs the right hands. Recite. Practical solutions, lasting value.
Couldn't do it without them.
I couldn't do it without him, man. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, watching us. So new subscribers, man, listen, I think people kind of catching on. I think we kind of building that community we were talking about. Yes. But I'd like to thank you, man. If you guys come on, if you guys watching us, if you're entertained by our not so funny moments, thank you guys.
Hit us on that Cash App. Hit us on that Cash App. Let's keep this thing going, man. The $ Cat's Corner Podcast. And call me Daddy as your code word. You might get a special gift.
But listen to this. People say, okay, Cash Out. Why should we send you cash? You should send something because we can entertain you more. Because some of these guys don't want to come on for free. Big Ray, you know a few names.
Me, for one.
Yeah.
For another.
Yeah.
Abby, he ain't coming on for free.
He ain't coming on for
free. 3 years.
Hey, man, but I probably have done about maybe 4 or 5 podcasts this week. No lie. 4 or 5 of them this week.
You've been charging people out the yin yang. You've been collecting.
I mean, I have a little fee because I don't want them to waste my time. So, if they're serious about it, they won't have no questions. They won't say anything about, let's pay the cat something. Let's give him something to come on the show. If you like me. So, yeah, I get paid to come on there and do it. So that's why I say I don't mind paying. We don't mind paying one of our heroes to come on and entertain and ask questions and answer questions and stuff like that.
That's true.
But Big Ray, today I want to stay on topic. I got a few things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about business. The business of the business. It's like WWE, AEW. Okay, it's pro wrestling, entertainment. But when I was in wrestling, I wasn't there to become, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't there to become famous, a celebrity. I didn't think about that. I thought about this is an opportunity for me to send my kids to private school, move my mom from the house that she had been living in for 40 years to a brand new house. It was about, I was making pretty good money in the business.
You was buying the biggest house on the biggest side of town, driving the biggest limousine.
So I wasn't driving no limousines. I did drive a convertible 500 SL now,
Yeah, well, that Porsche, don't forget about that Porsche.
Yeah, that Porsche, the Hummer, but yeah. My kids, I went to private school, graduated from college, put them through college. My mom, beautiful home. She stayed in that home till the day she passed in 2014. Then, we was able to kind of, now we can just rent it out or do something. But right now, that all came from thinking business. Business. WWE. You look at it, you sit home as a fan, and you think you're being entertained. It's all about entertainment. AEW. It's all about entertainment. But wait a minute. Both of these companies are owned by billionaires. Somebody making big money, business decisions. That's what I want to talk to today. Big Ray, you a business guy.
Yes.
You know wrestling. You can probably correlate, or you can probably see some things that look familiar to a businessman.
Correlations between business.
There
and
you
my
go.
business.
That's the word I was going to use. Correlation.
What it is what coming in has got to be more than what's going out.
And sometimes, and sometimes that shows up in wrestling as a character. Okay, if we can make more money on this episode with John Cena, but we got to pay more money to use John Cena when we can use, give me another wrestler.
LA Knight.
We can use LA Knight for less money, and he can still pop the crowd a little bit, what we need. Mm-hmm. So let's kind of balance this off. You know, I remember in WCW, we were getting big ratings. And I don't know anything about this. What's up, Cody?
Put your hand in front of the camera like this. I'll take it away. Oh, you're blurry.
So
who is?
He is.
Wipe your camera off.
I wiped. I did.
You got that Jerry curl juice on. You got that soul glow. Just let your soul glow.
Hey, was it glowing at first, right? Cody?
It was good at first. All of a sudden it got blurry. So it's just focused on something else right now, and I don't know what.
This is live, people.
Yeah.
What we do.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
A little better.
There we go. There we go.
It could be that shiny bald head hitting that light coming right back on it.
Big Ray, come on, man. I was cooking with something.
Yes, you were. Let's go back. Let's get back in the kitchen.
So let's try to look at this thing as a business, Big Ray. You're a business guy.
Yes.
You're a business guy.
We've established that. Yes.
Who would be the businessman and we got to bring in the shirtless Shane, because I want him to be in on this too, because damn, that boy, look at him. I think you got the worst. What's up, Shane? Shane, I think you got the worst body in the world, and you never wear a shirt. You never wear a shirt.
He said, for somebody that never wears a shirt, you got the worst body.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Ernest?
Yo, can you hear me, Shane?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, what's up, guys?
See, Ray, fill him in. What did I just say to him, Ray?
He said, for a man that never wears a shirt, you got the worst body he's ever seen.
Worst body? You only see my traps,
bro.
What are you talking about?
Your traps look like they come down from your cheeks.
Nah, these are
you
nice
got
traps.
eyebrows. You got eyebrows, no chin, but you got traps. But anyway,
like goldberg.
But anyway, let's go to this. Who is the business? Who do you think in AEW, Shane? Who do you think is the business decision over there? Who make all the decision?
Tony Khan. Well,
I heard that.
Mean, look, his dad is the, his dad Shahid is, he's really the owner of the company. But I don't know. I mean, he leaves Tony in charge. I think of all.
No, we're not going to talk about his dad, because his dad they are both the same. They're both the company. This is his son.
Okay, yeah.
So Tony is that honcho, the man, the decision maker over there.
Sure.
How about you, Ray? Who do you think make all the decision at WWE?
I would say it's the board or Nick Khan. It's a Khan, but I think it's a Nick Khan. But I would think the board of TKO would make the final decisions on any big business moves or if you're going to pair up or fusion marketing with a company, say if Ford has become the official vehicle of the WWE and all the superstars are driving Fords or whatever, that comes from, I think that's an executive decision that goes above and beyond who's making the decisions on who's winning the U.S. title Friday night.
Okay, yeah. So you saying the board make the big decision, right?
I would think so because there's shareholders involved. There's people that have money in this TKO, UFC, WWE venture. You're looking at one. I own a few shares of stock, so I'm curious to know what direction we're going as a company, or we could be losing money. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to lose money.
So now in the entertainment business, in pro wrestling, this is what I think. The board may have the last say so in whatever the finance they're doing outside of the TV world, but I think the guys who making up the show is making the decision, because those are the decision that we as fans only care about.
Right. So you're saying Triple H?
Yeah, Triple H and his crew, I think they make the final decision over there. Now, business moves and stuff like that, they are made, but I don't think the board is going to call down to Triple H and say, Triple H, get rid of such and so, because he's not pulling his weight and we paying him too much money. I don't think the board will do that. I think
you don't think they have what they call an analytics person that looks at if a certain superstar is on from 9 until 9:22, looking at the rating, looking at what their merchandise sales are versus someone else, and saying, this guy, we're paying him X, he's producing Y, we need to get him the hell out of here.
No, I don't think the board look at that. Maybe the guys in the back now, the decision maker, that's what I'm saying. Maybe Triple H or Tony Khan, they can look at it and say, sometimes you don't always pull the weight because it's not your turn. You just sit and wait. We'll develop you and bring you up later, but we just want to see you on TV. So you can't really tell. It was one time in WCW where I was getting the higher rating.
Oh yeah,
my segment was higher rated, and you could tell because they had me on TV almost every segment.
That's what I was going to say. One show you were in almost every segment
because my rating segment was pretty high. So the guys who were writing the show, Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, they would say, "Hey, bring the cat, throw him in there, throw NWO in there. Let's throw all these guys in there and make it pop, you know." But then let's go back to WCW when we were winning the war. We were getting the highest rating, but guess what? It was a business decision. They sent all the millionaires home. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, because I remember.
Because WWE probably getting what, 4 or 5s, you know, and they might have been paying, let's say they might have been paying for that hour $5 million. We were getting a 6 or 7, but we were paying $15 million.
So you were losing.
I mean, I guess that, but how can you lose with the guys they were using? They was the top guys. But and they couldn't even went higher. So you were losing, the money was losing, but hey, bro, what you doing over there?
Me? I'm listening to you. What are you talking about?
Okay. All right. So the business decision was made when they said we are going to use these guys, even if it costs us more, because right now the ratings are more important than what the money is. These are billionaires.
Right.
You know, these are billionaires. So
when Ted said he wanted to compete with Vince head to head on Monday night, he meant exactly what the hell he said, and he put his money where his mouth was, and he went after it.
I heard that Ted told Eric Bischoff, I don't care what it costs.
What it costs.
I want to do this.
Dude,
and that's why
he almost had him.
He had him, baby. But then, you know, they start making business decisions. That's when the other company came in and they merged and they started changing things around. You know, I think 51% went to the other half. They all got together and said, let's vote Ted Turner.
AOL and Time Warner bigger than Ted Turner. I mean,
now
that's
business. Math. No, that's business, Ray.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's the math business. Of the business.
So when do pro wrestling become business? That's what I'm saying.
Day one.
I got a guy we gonna bring on now. This guy published 22 books.
22?
22 books, man, bestseller. I mean, I got to read one, Ray. That's why I told him he got to come on and come back, man. Because you know, I want this guy to help us understand sometime how entertainment can become business, how pro wrestling stop being pro wrestling and become a big business. So Amen. let's bring my man in here, the business bully. There you go. What's up,
business bully? What's up?
What's happening? How's everybody?
Man, everybody's good, man.
What's up, man?
Hey, Shane, before you go, anything you want to say about the business of AEW? Do you think AEW is on the right track with the business model, or should they change something around in the wrestling, in the back room? I mean, what do you have?
I would say, if anything, if I'm watching the matches and like I've been hyping up the matches and like the, just particularly the in-ring work, the maneuvers that most of the wrestlers do. But the one thing I would say is that I would sell finishes more, meaning that like, once a finisher occurs, I would let the pin happen and not let 4 or 5 finishers end the opponent. You get what I'm saying? So like. They don't, so like you'll see John Moxley sometimes do his DDT finisher 2 or 3 times before he pins the opponent. I would more go with like the one time, you know what I'm saying, to make that move look even more lethal and more legit instead of hitting it, multiple times. So I think like that would be the one thing at times I would change up. But I mean, like, I think that the matches themselves are overall are pretty much really good, if not great at times. But I mean, look, it's like any other company. I mean, there's wrestlers in AEW that are whatever. They're not selling tickets. I mean, but you have to have those kind of wrestlers, like the opening matches, the jobber types. You know what I'm saying? But it's a big roster and it's only one brand. Well, technically, Ring of Honor you could say is a second brand, because they use some of those wrestlers on Ring of Honor. But it's WWE. You got 3 brands, right? Well, no, you got NXT, SmackDown, Raw. So yeah, 3 brands. So you have a big roster, but it's all split out. And that's why it's hard for AEW to get these wrestlers all TV time also, because you're only going with 2-hour shows. So you got Dynamite and Collision. And, so a lot of those guys are never going to get the TV time, just because the roster is so big and, you always want to get your feet.
Hold on.
Before we kick him off. Hang on.
Okay.
All right. So here's the thing. So AEW Collision last week had 274,000 people watch it. The Dynamite had 480,000. So less than 500,000 people watching on their premiere show on a primetime Wednesday spot, like right now. They're on. They've been on for about 20 minutes. I will watch it. I will go back and watch it because I'm taping it or whatever. But what I'm saying is it ain't even in the stratosphere of the WWE. We're talking about an apple and an orange. They're both round. They're both fruits.
Well,
now, Ray, let me ask you something. Why would you say they're not nowhere near each other? Why? I mean,
because of just the sheer people watching it. You got to show that 2 shows that they didn't even get 700,000 viewers on it. And WWE's pulling a 1.3, 1.4 on SmackDown, and we don't even know how to gauge Netflix.
Okay, all right. But now before we go to the business bully, I want to tell both of you guys are right. You guys are right. But you guys talk about the entertainment side of wrestling. That's not the business side. We talking about business decisions that are made in the office that sometimes, that sometimes reflects on what goes on in the ring. But I don't think the ring reflects what goes on in the business office. because yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so no, I was gonna say SmackDown last week got a 1.1. So I mean, SmackDown actually, if you look at the last like 5 or 6 weeks,
I didn't ask
dropping.
you. Hey, Big Shane, I did not ask you about WWE because I know you're an AEW lover, and the only thing you're gonna do is attack them. I tell you what, Shane, I love that you're here. Thanks for coming. AEW, we love AEW. Call my mama.
All right, boys.
All right. Okay, now, Mr. Business Bully. Now,
Yes,
this is what I was saying right here. This is what I want to talk to you about.
Mhm.
What in the world do you think the business of wrestling is becoming? I mean, what do you see? Do you see any changes in there? From, let's just say, changes from when did you watch it back when WCW was around?
Oh, of course, man. Come on, stop playing with me.
So you see that it was a lot of business. If you listen to the podcast and you hear Hogan made a business decision. He said, I'm not going to lose. Well, I'm going to go to the ring and just lay down. That was a business decision. Then when Vince Russo came in and Vince Russo said, hey, I'm going to put the belt on Jeff Jarrett. Why? Why were you going to put the belt on Jeff Jarrett? That was a business decision for him. When John Ace was there, John Ace was pushing the people he wanted to push. Why? It was a business decision. So all these decisions that you guys see, the guys in the ring, they make that big business decisions behind them. So when do you balance the business world and the wrestling world? When do you say, okay, stand on business?
I think it comes down to a couple of things, Kat. And a lot of those examples you gave, folks were going into business for themselves. Hogan went into business for himself. Like at that particular point in his career, which I would consider his second, if not third act, he should have been putting other people coming behind him up and over. That's just point blank and period.
Now let me ask you this.
Sure.
Why wouldn't he put somebody else over? I mean, what do you think his reason? I know he's gone. Rest in peace, Hogan. I don't want to bring his name up, but you brought his name up, Mr. Business Bully.
Yes, sir.
What business decision was he making? Was he afraid that he was not going to get his opportunity, or what? What do you mean stand on business?
I've spoken to Hogan, God rest his soul, but I never got into this. But I can only tell you from a fan's point of view, and as a person that has been on, both sides of the rope, for lack of a better term. I think it was after he saw what happened with the Ultimate Warrior, when that whole situation happened and there was a shift, I think he didn't want that to happen to him again. And there was a lot of very, very talented people. You of all people know how many talented people was in WCW at that time. So he looked at it and said, oh, okay, cool. Not to mention they're still hiring folks, from WWE. And it's like, I got to do everything I possibly can. So not only am I going to protect my image, I'm not going to lose, so on and so forth. Like there are people who have wrestled who are going on to do movies and say, I'm not going to lose a fight on camera. It's the same type of thing because they don't want to lose any particular amount of credibility and they're afraid of what's next. And that's a problem when you're just putting your buddies on or you're booking from a place to just take care of your buddies and not do what's best for the audience. The butts and seats are going to diminish or they're going to be thrown off with the product. I watch all of it. And I have been to live events in, with WWE, TNA, AEW, and there is a distinct difference in the way that the crowd acts. There's a distinct difference in the way that the lighting is set up. There's a distinct difference in the energy in the room, and that's based upon how they structure their business. Some of it's good and some of it's bad. Some of it's going to last a long time and some of it is very, very short-sighted.
Okay, Dave, listen, we're going to slow that down because we know wrestling, business, but Big Ray know business too, and he know wrestling. So I see he kind of want to get at you a little bit because I can see the energy in his face.
I'm in awe because I would say the same thing. And Flair was just as guilty of it as Hogan was, not trying to put over the younger talent, trying to build the business, the tentacles out at the base instead of building it straight up with two people. And then you want to build that wide base by getting a lot of people over. So you build the credibility. So Jeff Jarrett does beat him clean. That makes Jeff Jarrett because he beat a Hogan or he beat a Flair or God rest his soul. I get all that, you know what I'm saying? But he's exactly right. Dave is exactly 100% on. It's the business. From business standpoint, people get greedy. People get real short sighted, and they're only thinking about me and my legacy. What is my legacy going to be? You're still Hulk Hogan. You still slammed Andre the Giant in front of 93,000 people. That's never going to go anywhere. You're the best. You know, you're on the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
Okay, Big Ray. So how about this then?
Mhm.
They went through. It was Jeff Jarrett and winning the belt. No, who else had the belt before them?
Well, it went from
Ric
Hogan.
Flair,
You had Flair to
Hogan. They had problem with that. Then they had problem with who was the name? Jeff Jarrett.
Well,
And
they
then
had Nash
and
was
then they had
champ.
Nash had the belt, and they were throwing the belt around, and nobody really wanted to lose
Goldberg
it.
got it.
Nobody wanted to lose it. But when the business decision was made, it had to be made because it was the right thing to do, and that's when they put the belt on Booker T.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
absolutely,
because
we're getting to that. We're going to get to the evolving of that.
Yeah,
And
because
I think it should have went from Goldberg to Booker instead of the way that it matriculated down to Booker, like they giving it to him. Like, you know, this is it. We're just crowning this guy the champion. You know what I'm saying? I like the match between him and Jeff Jarrett, but to me it seemed predetermined that Booker. I was not surprised that Booker T won the belt that night or the last night on Raw. On Nitro when he beat Scott Steiner when Scott Steiner had the belt, and then he also had the U.S. belt, so he left with both belts.
Well, let me tell you this behind the scenes story. It took a lot of talking to get Booker T that belt.
I think he
some people didn't want no, they just didn't want to lose to Booker T. I don't know why. Booker T one of the most athletic people around. Everybody liked him. He didn't think, but why did they not want Booker T to have? Somebody stood on business. Somebody stood on business and said, no, we got to get Booker T this belt. Vince Russo said was his thing. Well, I heard Eric talking about it too. So they all were talking about it. But, you know, he finally got that opportunity to carry the world championship around on his back. He did a great job. So, Dave, let me go back to you before we even started. Tell about, I read one of your books, your last book you had, the last book you sent me.
Yes, sir.
And tell me about that, man. Where did you come up with all that stuff?
Yeah, no, so
it's true.
Yeah, the book is called The Real Black Agenda. And I came up with it because there's a lot of things that happen, in the African-American community that get overlooked and kind of diminished. And it's not about victimhood as more as it's about statistical facts, certain things being set up all for profit and for business. And one of the main things that I took was my time. And I said, you know what? Here's what it is. Here's the cards that were dealt. Here's the best way we play those cards. And even in the business, the reason that there was so much pushback, I can only imagine, you were there, I wasn't, is because there's a whole bunch of people who believed that Booker T was not the right type of black to carry that title, and they were afraid that people
wait. Didn't somebody say Booker T, this is not for people like you?
Oh yeah, Hunter said that when he came over, but again, you automatically knew what that was about. That's a whole different level of conversation.
But listen, sometimes people got real cocky in the business. So cocky that they'll spill the bean. Hey, I don't care. I'm gonna go out and tell them the truth.
Yeah.
But that's the talk behind the curtains.
Yeah, I thought part of that was a shoot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I definitely thought part of it was a shoot. Booker had a criminal record. Booker was unmistakably black. And let me be clear, when I say unmistakably black, there is a world where people are upset that somebody like Idris Elba could be 007, but they're okay with, The Rock playing an Italian one day, playing Hercules the next day.
Wait a minute. What Rock got to do with blackness?
His daddy is Soul Man Rocky Johnson.
What? I did not know that. Bro, wait a minute. You mean to tell me Rock is half black?
Yes, sir.
Great. Why didn't you tell me this? He would have never been.
I thought you knew. I'm sorry.
If I knew he was
in pro wrestling.
If I knew he was half black, he wouldn't be one of my best friends, one of my good friends. He would be on the backside, But damn, is he black? 'Cause the only thing I hear about is Samoan and the bloodline and stuff like that. I never
Right.
hear that. If you go the other way, it might lead to Nigeria.
I mean,
Like me, I did my DNA. I'm 34% Nigerian.
Not 34.
Did you see Be Cool?
34%.
Did you see Be Cool, the movie?
Yeah.
No.
You should watch that.
Is
Ernest.
that a black?
He played a brother in that movie, but they
Who?
made him a gay brother.
Who?
They didn't
Yep.
make him just a brother now. He was a
That's
gay
somebody.
brother.
That's somebody doing that business thing. But anyway, Ray, let's not get off topic. I like the business. I like where it's going. Ray, chime in whenever you want to. But go ahead, businessman. Tell me what you were saying now.
No.
Now, before you get going, can I ask you this right here?
Sure.
Before I forget, because I really forget something. You in that business thing right there.
Yes, sir.
Do you think it was a business deal, a business, someone was standing on business when they told Booker T when he got the WWE, he got the belt over there? What was that the business decision made? But let me tell you before you start, he did not ever win the WWE belt.
No.
He won once again the what?
He won the big gold belt.
The WCW belt. That was the WCW belt.
Second tier championship.
Right.
Yeah,
The championship the company acquired.
But I think Mark Henry actually won the WWE belt. Did he not?
No, he did not.
No.
They put
He won the big gold belt,
didn't they?
They gave him the big gold belt and they gave him the ECW title. Mark
Wait a
Henry.
minute.
Yeah, I remember
The big gold belt, that's like give a brother some diamond earrings, some diamonds, and let him shine. That he'll be okay over in the corner.
I mean, again, it's enough to make you look like
And I'm not trying
something.
to make this racist because it
No.
has nothing to do with race. I just try to figure out this business, man.
No, I think
Wrestling is a business, a $1 billion business. Somebody
Right.
making business deal. I want to get in on the business deal. I want to get those $40 million deal. I want this podcast to get $40 million just so we can go and do some real stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Some
Yes, sir.
real stuff.
That's right.
Let's stand on business. So go ahead, Mr. Business Bully.
Yeah, I think it's a situation where, like I said, when you look at it, Booker T was a different type of individual, but you can't deny his athleticism. You can't deny his look. You can't deny his ability on the mic. The problem was, if you go and look, and this is just my two eyes looking as a fan, because I was not in the business yet, but when you look at Rocky Maivia starting to turn, all of a sudden we saw leather jackets, Versace shirts. He got a very distinctive haircut.
Whoa, wait a minute. It was somebody else who wore the Versace shirt halfway open before The Rock did.
That's correct.
He was in the nice shades, the nice haircut, the nice earrings.
Had that blonde, man. He went
Had that blonde
on the brother.
hair. Wait a minute, who was that? I think that was myself.
That was
I would
Ernest
be.
the Cat Miller.
But that's how. But listen, that's how I dressed at that time. That's how I dressed. You know. But go right here. I'm sorry for cutting in, Mr. Business. Stick to business.
And I think a lot of folks
missed an opportunity to pitch yourself over.
No, he's never going to do that. I think a lot of folks took a page out of what Ernest the Cat Miller was doing because it was entertainment and fun. But the other part of that is if you put Booker T's image right next to Rocky's, wrong type of black, right type of black, but damn near same outfit. I mean, there was a bookend, and then all of a sudden there was a rock bottom. I heard Booker say, "If you smell what I'm cooking," before I heard "Hit your smell."
Oh, I forgot that. But let me ask you this right here,
sir.
How would that relate to business? What was the business decision between, let's say, Rocky Johnson and Booker T?
All right, so
hold up. Let's see what you think about that, Ray.
But what I think was, first of all, you had Vince grooming a second generation, almost third generation wrestler in Rocky Maivia. So he was being groomed anyway. And then when he became The Rock, because the Rocky Maivia thing was horrible, because you didn't know if he was black or if he was Samoan. So he took a little of both, slammed them together. But you knew The Rock was a badass dude that could lay up the smacketh down upon that Rudy Poo Candy ass. And he was funny. And that's where his shtick was. But so was Booker T in his own right. It's almost like they stole his gimmick a little bit and just enhanced it a little bit You know, it's just kind of like they enhanced Booker T's gimmick onto The Rock. I mean, that's the way it looks like to the naked eye.
Now,
Because my brother was talking about it's gonna be on like a steaming pot of neck bone. Now can you dig that, sucker? I mean, you know.
Now, business big great. I got to admit, sometimes you will watch something on when I was in WCW. You may watch something on WWF or WWE that you like, and you'll take it and bring it over and switch it up a little bit in WCW. We can all, you know, that we all can be, you know.
Can we flip it right quick? Do you think WCW? Do you think WCW took Goldberg and made him Stone Cold? Was he Stone Cold's version?
He wasn't nothing like Stone Cold. I don't know why would you compete. He was just another white guy with a bald head.
Black trunks, bald head, goatee, kind of muscled up.
Kind of muscled up. He was.
I'm talking about Austin and him.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Nobody knew Goldberg was gonna be Goldberg. Nobody. But the energy Goldberg. No, they didn't. Not when they first started. I beat Goldberg in a dark match. That's what I'm telling you. They weren't pushing Goldberg like that till Goldberg went to the ring and they saw something in him.
That's what I'm saying.
They said this man got the energy. They made a business deal. Hey, he gonna beat 100 guys straight in a row, and we gonna build this guy. He gonna be our money guy. And at the same time, you could tell it was a business deal.
Yep.
Because the rating went up, we started making more money. And guess what? NWO were running crazy. So they building it. And also they had blood run cold. It didn't work out as well as the rest of them, but Glacier had a pretty good storyline he had going on. He had a good storyline going on.
6 months of marketing before he even got in the ring. Right. And then they dropped the freaking ball on him within the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
People lost interest.
And that was not whoa. People didn't lose interest. The booker just didn't book it right.
That's what I'm saying.
And that was not a business. That was not a business deal, because how can you just all of a sudden, you know how much money it costs for him to just walk to the ring with the snow and all the stuff, the costume. It costs a lot of money. So I don't think the people at Turner was up there saying, "Hey, let's cut this thing out."
After they spent 6 months,
who didn't push him? Who didn't push him? Who would you suggest?
The powers that be.
No, not the power. Come on, you a fan? You know what you said. Somebody in the back, the bookers. It wasn't nobody else. The booker. Didn't nobody call from.
Who was booking at that time? Was it Dusty or did Kevin Nash have the pencil?
Kevin Nash did not have it then. It was a lot of different. Eric was booking, but Eric had a bunch of
Eric's the karate man. Eric would have been pushing him.
Yeah,
it
but
was Eric's idea for the 6 months worth of venue.
But Eric, hold up. But Eric Bischoff was busy running NWO, bro. He gave that to some other bookers, Terry Taylor. He had a whole bunch of. I just can't remember the guys right now.
Johnny Age.
No, Johnny Age wasn't. Johnny Age wasn't there then.
Oh,
it wasn't there then. No, he wasn't there then. The Tasmanian Devil, who bless him. What was his name? Tasmanian Devil.
Talking about Taz?
Yeah. No, not Taz. Not Taz. He was like the Tasmanian Devil in WCW. Just passed away. Kevin Sullivan.
Oh,
yeah, Kevin Sullivan were booking. They were booking and doing everything then, and they just didn't push it. From what I heard, Kevin Sullivan just, didn't want to push it. So it dropped and everything. But let's go back to this.
Yeah,
was that the business deal? Would you guys consider that a business deal?
A shitty one.
Yeah, like
that's what I'm saying.
It was bad and it was short-sighted. There's a lot of things that happen, in the backstage area. There's a lot of things that happen, in the corporate side of the business that is so politically charged that they miss out on real money because they're short-sighted. Like there are people who should be out here producing and getting the best talent and working with that talent intimately, and they get forced out because they don't want to particularly tap dance a certain way, and they might have opinions and ideas that other people don't respect, even though their batting average is Babe Ruth, if not better, when it comes to scouting, recruiting, development. So
Let's go back to your book. Let's go back
Sure.
to your book, because
Sure.
your book is what we were on before we got off topic. Tell us a little bit about what made you write that book.
I wrote the book because I heard a lot of people in my community talk about how things weren't fair, things weren't happening the way that they wanted them to happen. And a lot of times we talk around issues, but we don't necessarily talk to the issues and how they're going to get solved. Sometimes it's not your fault, but it becomes your problem. I got kids. If my oldest has an issue and something happens, it's not my fault, but she's my child, so it becomes my problem. We have to start looking at the things that are going to be able to fix the problem instead of complaining about the problem. It's not just one person, one president, one figurehead. It comes down to, what are you doing in your home? What are you doing in your neighborhood? What kind of pressure are you putting on your mayor? Like, are your streets clean? Are you cleaning up your city? Like, there's a bunch of stuff that needs to happen that has not happened yet, either because we're distracted by nonsensical BS, or we just don't know what we don't know. And so I wanted to put into words all the things I think we don't know that we need to know in order to move things forward.
And that's your community, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it starts there. It starts in your home, then it starts in your town, just like the Bible says. First, you got to preach in Judea, and then Jerusalem, Judea, and then Samaria, and then the other parts. So, in other words, if you don't do it at home first, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
You can't if you can't affect change in your own home, how you gonna do it in your own town? If you can't do it in your own town, how you gonna do it in your own state? If you can't do it in your own state, how you gonna do it for their own country?
How about when you make a change, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really a change. You're just moving somebody to the side. You're not moving them up. You just move them to the side in a different spot. What I mean by that, when sometime in wrestling, they'll tell you, hey, I'm going to put you in a match and this going to set you up.
Mm-hmm.
And the first person they put me against, myself, was a black wrestler. And I was like, why put me against Booker T and let me work with somebody else? So you got 2 or 3 black wrestlers in there. So that really wasn't an upgrade.
No.
That was just, okay, let's just soothe this moment right now for you till we find something for you to do. WWE told me they couldn't write for me.
Yeah, because you're black.
But they wrote for John Cena.
Did they have black writers? Did they have black writers in that room?
Big Ray, you better watch out. Cause that's what I was just talking about, Big Ray.
If there ain't no black writers in that room, they can't write for you because they ain't been you. They ain't walked the street like you walk. You ain't
but Big Ray
and denigrated and all the shit that we've been through as people for the last 450 years.
Yeah, but Big Ray, let me ask you this, Big Ray. You know that, and I know that. Shouldn't they say, let's save this and just work with somebody for later? Why put these two guys? They can't work.
They should have put a retired black wrestler in the writer's room.
That's right. That's business. Wouldn't that be business if they want to be business? Wouldn't that be the best way?
If you want your company to be diverse and grow, yes. If not, no. If you want it the good old boys club, let's hire a bunch of good old boys and sit around and talk about the old South.
But you know what the funny part is? This right here. They came after me. I was at home enjoying my life with my money, and they came. John Ace called me and said, "Cat, come up here. You'll do good up here." Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon. Hey, Vince McMahon. I love you. I went up there, did a dark match, and guess who I did a dark match with?
Why it got to be a dark match?
Because it was with Norman Smiley. That's what I asked.
Okay. Well, use the Norman then, and it was a dark match.
Yeah, it was a Norman Smiley. And we had a great match, and they said, we want to work with you. But then when it got time to get serious, because they tried me in a couple of different places, but I told them I wanted to wrestle. If I wasn't wrestling, I did not want to be in the business. So they told me, hey, we're going to release you from your contract. They ain't going to fire me. We're going to release you from your contract. And I said, why? I went and talked to Vince McMahon. He said, well, the writers said they can't write for me. I said, if the writers can't write for Ernest Cat Miller, they can't write for you, Vince. Then that's what I'm saying. So how did this even make sense? I was disappointed because I'm looking at these guys, but it was a business deal because I had Stevie Ray back at home who know the business more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
He know the business. When he said,
told
Cat,
you before you went up there.
before I went out there, he said, Cat, listen, you think they're going to do something with the WCW guys and put these guys over their own guys up there?
Not at all.
You're crazy. You're crazy. And then he said, look what they did to my brother. He said they did all kinds of wicked stuff to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But he stayed up there. Booker T stayed around. And they told me when they released me, you can come back. Mm-hmm. Just go travel the world and do that. But I was a different kind of breed. I was doing martial arts. I was doing other things. Right. So I wasn't going to make that loop and go back around like that. But I did enough just to stay relevant right now.
That's it.
So it was a business deal. I looked at that, and that's how I walked away and made myself happy. I walked away from it.
They couldn't push you around. That's why they had to get your ass the fuck up out of there, because they knew if they couldn't just talk to you any kind of way.
Yeah.
They couldn't talk to Mark Henry just any type of way. They ain't talk to Stevie Ray just any type of fucking way. It ain't gonna fucking happen, dude.
But the deal right here, businessman.
Yes, sir.
You work with Mark, right?
I did. Yes.
Mark very knowledgeable. He's such a fair guy.
He's a friend of the show.
Yeah, he's such a fair guy, and
yes.
I don't think he see color. And I hate to say that because Triple H said that, but what do you think?
I think
his
Mark
position
Henry
should
definitely
be.
sees color. By the way, I think you're exactly wrong about Mark. I think
okay, Big Ray, tell me why you said that, then, Ray. I want to hear.
He's for the culture, baby, 100%, 100%.
Listen, that don't mean you see color, but you are who you are. You feel it. You don't have to look
defend
for
yours before you defend theirs.
No.
But I like it.
I look at well. Let me stress.
You seen all the shit that went down just 2 weeks ago when Rampage's son did that shit to that dude, and then Mark said what he said. He got all that damn backlash. I
don't think Mars said that because the guy was black. I think Mars said he know the business like me.
I don't think it was racial at all either. I'm not saying that.
But that's what you hold up. But wait a minute, Ray.
They were trying to make it racial, but he did not back down.
But Mark's
making it racial. But the people that were talking shit about what Mark said was trying to make it racial.
But
he did not stand for it. He didn't take nothing back. He didn't apologize, and I respect the shit out of him for it.
Okay. So, but what I'm saying, Mark may not see color. That's not gonna move him. But for instance, if you talented, Mark gonna tell black, white, or whatever. Mark gonna say you're talented.
I didn't say he's a racist.
Now, when he come back, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You said Mark see color. You said Mark see color.
You see color don't make you racist. I'm looking at two black men, and you looking at one white dude.
How you know I'm black?
If we were a cookie, I'd be in the middle. We'd be an Oreo. I don't give a shit. I love you both. I think you're great.
You try to make us laugh, but we ain't gonna laugh at that. What we should, let's stop this right now, business guy.
Yes, sir.
I got and speaking on something like that, let me ask you something.
Yes, sir.
This me, you, Ray, anybody. One of y'all can answer. If you was on the train and you see a black guy, let's just say a guy attacking a woman, what would you do?
Rear naked choke.
What about you, Ray? Would you step in, not knowing anything? You don't know if they're husband, wife, or what?
You damn right. I don't care if it's black on black, black on white, white on black. I don't care if it's Chinese on Vietnamese. If somebody's getting stabbed and they ain't done nothing wrong, they didn't ask to get stabbed.
But wait a minute, Ray. That's after the fact. I'm talking about doing the thing. If you just sitting there, look with your head down,
I ain't gonna be just sitting beside this thing watching it go on and not stop it.
From what I've seen with this, and we talk about the video, Bully, the video where this guy stood up and stabbed this lady in the neck.
Yeah.
And nobody did anything.
No,
Nobody
she
did
curled
anything.
up in a ball and bled out, and nobody did.
Nobody
shit.
did anything.
It's disgusting.
And I've been through a situation before, and I'm gonna tell you this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was standing next to a lady talking, and a guy pulled up in a car, and the guy pulled up behind me. He walked back past me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "What's up?" He said, "Hello." I didn't know the guy was, but it was the lady standing behind me, and he just started beating that lady. He started kicking her, stomped her, knocked her down. He was beating that lady, and then I was surprised. I was like, I don't know what to do. But then I turned around. I caught that feeling. Then I went there. I was young. Then I went there. I said, "Bro, you need to cut that out right now." And he was like, "No, man, this is my girl. I've been taking care of her kid all day, and find out she been out with some other guy." And I was like, "But you need to cut that out and not hit her anymore." So by that time, she called the cops, and the cops came. And then the cop looked at me and told me this. I was like, "Man, I should have did more because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know these people. I didn't know neither one of them. But I just saw them down on the ground beating." I said, "I made them stop, but I should have stopped it sooner." And he said, "Listen, bro, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. Wait and see what's going on, because you don't know if he had a gun. He could have shot you by just telling him to stop."
Listen,
So he
if
just
they were
said,
together and you started whooping his ass, she'd have
Yeah.
jumped on your back trying to claw your eyes out.
But I felt so bad because I didn't react right then.
Right.
It wasn't that I was afraid. It was like I had to look and see what was going on before I even decided to stick my nose in. I didn't know what they was doing. Now I can imagine being like sitting next to the girl on the other row, and the guy
He
jumped
wouldn't
up
have
and
done
hit her.
it. He wouldn't have done it if two grown ass men was sitting up there and not two
Well,
ladies.
Big Ray, you saying that because he's black. He wouldn't have done
I ain't
it.
saying that. I'm saying if he was white, he still wouldn't have done it. If there was two grown men there. He looked around his surroundings and knew he could get away with it.
It's one thing you keep forgetting that people don't really bring up the thing. He was mentally ill. Maybe he would have, right? Did he have mental problems?
Convicted 14 times. He should
Ray.
not even have been on the street.
Ray. Not that it make a difference. He was convicted 14 times, but think about this, Ray. He was mental. He had a mental illness. He should have been out the first time.
Failed that Ukrainian girl
Exactly.
because he had 14 priors. Should not even been on that damn train. Shouldn't even be in this country because he's an illegal.
Hold on, wait a minute.
First of all, he's an illegal immigrant.
Right. But you saying he shouldn't have been on there because he was 14 times arrested 14 times.
Absolutely.
But listen,
and an
when
illegal
when a person is mentally ill, they gonna keep doing the same thing until they get some help. Now, I was in Toronto, and
if you're stabbing people, you don't need help. You need to be hung by your damn neck until you're dead.
But that's all white people.
You need the electric chair. You need to be legally ejected.
He started with hung. You see how he automatically went to hung?
Well, that's how they did it back in the Western.
Hold up. That's what they did back in the day. That's what they did back in the day.
That was in the town creed. You commit murder, you hang by your neck, you dead.
No. If you wanted to move into a nice neighborhood, and it was your kind was in there, they will come burn your house down. They'll hang people in the yard.
I ain't talking about that.
But that's the same thing. Murder.
It ain't nothing the same thing. There's an immigrant woman sitting on that train, not bothering nobody, and she just not unassumingly. He stands up behind her and jabs this son of a gun 1, 2, 5, 7, however many times. She rolls up, falls over, and nobody did nothing. Nobody touched her. Nobody tried to help revive her. Nothing.
Listen, Ray, that's very sad. That whole situation is sad.
Now, let's flip it.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, no.
What if it was a white dude that stabbed a black lady like that? What do you think the outrage would be in America right now? It would be on every TV show, every CNN, MSNBC, everything that you.
So
wait a minute.
CBS,
Everybody would be talking about it. It's racial.
Ray. So you don't think a white man ever killed a black lady before? You don't see you don't think You
I'm
don't
sure
think
there have.
you don't think three
course.
white guys killed a black man before? So that's what I'm saying.
Nope.
In the murder,
Do
in the
what?
murder,
You
don't
stopped.
just.
You broke up on me. What'd you say?
I said you don't think
Uh-oh.
black cops. You don't think black cops killed a innocent black man before? White cops killed an innocent black man before?
I think there's been innocent people killed all throughout
Okay,
history.
don't defend. Don't talk about
I'm
that.
not
But let's talk
defending
about
that.
let's talk about the case. This was a mentally ill guy who should get the. I mean, they should get the book thrown at him no matter what, because they were very sad, and I felt bad for the young lady and her family, and she didn't deserve it. So that's what we're talking about.
Right.
But let's not just get angry because it was a black man and a white woman.
I'm angry at the senseless violence of it all. There was nothing. Nobody was talking shit to him. Nobody was telling him to turn his radio down. Nobody was talking about how he looked, talking about his shoes. Nobody said nothing. She just sitting there minding her own business. This man decided to take a life. Whether he's crazy or not, I don't know. It probably is crazy, because only crazy people would do that. I would take your life if I'm defending my life. That's the only life I'm going to take. That's to defend the lives of my children and my wife and myself, or my friend that I'm with. I'm not looking for no trouble, but I will kill somebody that's trying to kill me.
How about if a man and a husband and wife is fighting? What are you going to do? You going to jump in there and tell her, hey, y'all don't do that?
We're going to break up the nonsense, and they can go somewhere else and do that if that's what they want to do.
But
if we in public, if I'm in your house and you slap Kalita, I'm leaving. I ain't saying nothing to you. I'm going and getting in my car. And
first of all, I won't ever put my hand on a woman.
I'm
First of all,
just saying.
but if you slap your wife, I'm gonna slap you too.
If you in my home and I slap my lady,
I'm gonna slap you too. I'm gonna still slap you. As matter of fact,
I wouldn't do it either.
We both may throw you out the house, and I may end up spending the night there. You
hey now, what about Miss Kalita? You gonna bring her along too?
Yeah. So anyway, Mr. Bully, I'm sorry.
Sir.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind, Mr. D?
I think the thing that no one likes to talk about is the fact that they failed that young lady. That young lady came over here. She was working a gig making pizzas. She got off of a shift, and this guy had been arrested. This guy, and the mental illness is not up for dispute. We definitely know he was mentally
crazy.
ill.
Yes,
he beat his own sister. He beat his own sister. If he'll beat his own sister, he'll do any daggone thing. And they let him out. And the clerk and that magistrate was, one of these, again, one of the DEI people, and didn't see anything wrong with it. The system is starting to pass these people through because they don't have the structure or the infrastructure to take care of people who have these mental issues. That man should have been in the hospital getting treatment. He should not have been out in the public. That is a menace to society. And the thing that I don't like right now in society, we are giving more time, more rights, more sympathy, more empathy to people who entered this country illegally and are taking benefits out of tax-paying Americans. That is a problem for me. And when you start to you can't even come home smelling like pepperoni and sauce without some nincompoop just deciding he's just going to jab you in the neck.
Shouldn't been on the bus. Shouldn't been on the thing. I went to Toronto one time. We had a match there, and I met this guy. He was a radio host, and he was just talking to me about the medical. And he was like, everybody got free medical here. I said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, it's universal free medical. So he said, for instance, if you have like a guy that may be having some mental problem on the street, they're not going to call the cops. They called the hospital, send somebody down to get him and bring him in and commit him to the hospital. It's not a crime to be, to have mental illness, but they're going to give you something to help. Here, anywhere you go, they lock you up and you don't stay in the jail. If you're having a mental problem, they're going to lock you up, lock you down for a little while, and do whatever the procedure is, or the process is. And then you're going to get released right back on the street. Yeah. They may give you a thing, a pill to take. But anyway, man, I just wanted to hit on that because that is a sad situation, man. And
what another sad situation happened today. It's a developing story, but Charlie Kirk got assassinated today in Utah, and it looks like they've got the shooter. Looks like they got him, and
who
he's a white gentleman. Huh?
He what?
Say what? He's a
I
white
didn't hear
gentleman.
that.
Yes.
Oh, was it for real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they get
It's
him?
white. It's white on white, baby. White on white. But that was a politically and religiously motivated killing right there.
But was this guy into politics? Was he a politician?
He's a 31-year-old, soon to be 32-year-old white male conservative Christian who would go to colleges and debate these millennials that has no idea what this country was founded on.
They say he was. They say he was a political
of this country is, and we're talking about all creeds, colors, and nationalities. That where the not only has the justice system failed these kids, the education system has really failed these kids because they ain't taught them the true 1776 doctrine of America and why we left England and you know the whole thing. You know, I get it. We went through the slavery stuff. That's a black eye on the country. I get it, but we didn't start slavery. That's just
so that still don't make it. You can just forget about it. Don't make it right.
Two wrongs don't make it right, but three lefts do.
Big Ray, because you wasn't there. Don't.
That's what I'm saying
like
is
it never happened.
Penalize you. I can't penalize you too because we weren't living then. Please don't penalize me because I wouldn't have done it. Okay, I know.
Maybe you wouldn't have. Maybe you wouldn't have, but maybe your grandfather did.
Can't talk about my granddaddy because I don't know. I didn't know him.
I know him. We used to call him Mr. Floyd.
You crazy?
Not Mr. Floyd.
Man, Mr. Floyd was my granddaddy now. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Okay.
But the guy you talk. But the guy you talk about, Charlie Kirk, right?
Yes.
Charlie Kirk. They say he was a political commentator.
Yes.
Which means he was a leader and loved to talk to people. And I'm just assuming because I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
But he was there for the young people too. Young people were really into
Generation
this guy.
Z. Yes.
So can you imagine what Dr. Martin Luther King? How old was Dr. Martin Luther King when he got assassinated?
39.
So he was just a few years older.
They stop anybody that preaches unity.
Yeah.
They stop anybody that preaches
Hold up. We got Cody in here.
Cody.
What's going on, everybody? Just doing some research on that, and the suspect that they had in custody was released. They're still looking for the guy.
No. Okay. They got the other guy now. They got the other guy.
Not as of live on the news. I'm watching it.
He's watching it.
Cash Patel said they have the shit. They got the gun. They've got the bag. They got everything. I got the video.
Who?
I've already got the video of it.
Who the hell's Cash Patel?
The head of the FBI.
He's the director of the FBI. He sent out a thing. We have him in custody. We have him.
Okay. I'm just going off what it says.
I'm just telling you what. Unless Fox News lied 30 minutes ago an hour ago before we got on here.
This was as of
Hey, Cody,
ago.
why don't you check CNN, the real truth?
I'm on CNN. I'm on CNN. I've checked Fox. They apologize for something that was on.
No, they're
Fox
probably
News.
apologizing to the first guy they grabbed, which was an old 70-year-old dude laying on his face going, I have the right to remain silent.
I thought it was Tim Walls.
Kind of looked like he did.
Dude looked like Tim Walls. I was like,
Didn't look like he did it.
He did look like he was.
version.
Hey, he didn't look like he was dressed for assassination or anything. He
No, he looked like he was dressed for
a
a
shooting.
shuffleboard.
Yeah,
Shuffleboard.
This dude had some penny loafers on.
He looked like he was ready
And
for the
some
bingo
donkeys.
card.
But anyway, that was a sad situation too, man.
It's
And
terrible. It's terrible.
You know, we go out to that, but okay. So what? It's a lot of sad stuff going out there, Bully. Let's get back to your book, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry we get off, but we talk about everything on this show. You better tell him, Ray. We talk about everything on this show. I mean, listen, don't mean that everything we say is correct.
No,
this is an opinion. These are opinions.
Yeah.
Formulated by educated guesses, a hypothesis. This is what my journey has led me to believe. Now, your journey may lead you to believe something completely different. I can't speak for you because I haven't walked a mile in your shoes.
So let me ask you about your book, though.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
What's the leading turnout of your book? And when I say that, what do you want people to take from this? Once they sit down and read your book from cover to cover, what's the walk away feeling you tried to grab?
I want people to be hopeful and understand that everything comes down to community. And if the least of us are doing bad, all of us are doing bad. And with that, I think there needs to be a different shift in what's happening. So, for example, I've lived in 34 cities in 19 states. And the one thing that I found everywhere I've went is there's a little Italy, there's a Chinatown, there's a Koreatown, and the densely populated black neighborhood is usually the hood. There's no brother town. There's no black girl Magicville. There's no place that has densely populated black folks by and large throughout the country that isn't downtrodden, isn't a food desert, doesn't have a mega church, a dispensary, and an abortion clinic. All of these things are systemically set in those communities because all of those things become a profit center based upon pain and lack of economic education and resources. And that's why, we have to start looking at what really works. When we realized that my 10-year-old had autism and they were starting to treat her like a behavior problem, we homeschooled her. We started to make different choices in order to deal with the situation because no one has time to sit around, do viral clips, and yell at the school board all day. I got a child to raise. So it's about ownership. It's about building with everybody, making sure that you're able to build up your community, making sure that you are supporting each other, and that we're also throwing out, the trash, rejecting bad behavior, disrespectful, nonsensical BS, and focusing on the things that make everybody happy and also make everybody profitable. And my whole thing with this book is to show people that we have the right to demand our rights. We have a right in a representative government to ask for something in exchange for our vote because everybody else does it, but it seems to be a different type of problem when Black Americans ask for things. There's a congressional Asian caucus, there's a congressional Jewish caucus, there's a congressional Hispanic caucus, and they all talk about, securing America's dream for their particular group. The Congressional Black Caucus says they want to secure their dream for absolutely everybody. And it's like, so I wrote this book so that people can understand that politics is business, that communities are going to be fixed when we fix them. There's no magical man coming from the sky or from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And you have to start doing for yourself. And that is the message that I want people to understand. I choose to make a difference.
I read the book and I followed right along with you. And that kind of take me up to this right here.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of the Fourth Rope promotion?
Yes.
Now, these are young Black guys.
Mm-hmm.
Rapper, West Side Gun,
Mm-hmm.
a very successful producer,
Yes.
entertainer, rapper. He also is an artist. He draw. He make clothes. He's now he just started a wrestling promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, but the crowd is so diverse that I thought it was gonna be different, but it's a diverse crowd that like this guy, and the business doing so well. But he'll say it's for us. That's what he would say. It's for us. It's for the Black people. But it's not for the Black people. He made it for everybody because he got so many different, a multicultural fan base that, it's just incredible, man. We just went to Buffalo and the whole crowd were white teenagers.
Right.
And they love wrestling. They love this guy merch. It was just incredible, man. But what I'm looking at, this guy is taking what Vince McMahon made $1 billion from.
Mm-hmm.
You got the idea of Tony Khan, a billionaire, making money from it.
Sure.
He's doing the same thing. He's building a company now as a Black business owner.
Right.
And hope that he make it. So what do you think about that? from what you've seen.
From what I've seen, I've had friends who have gone. Mark Lamont Hill just got kicked in the chest.
I was there. I was doing that. It was, you know him?
Yeah. I know.
It was so funny, man. He was sitting right next to me. And when I told him, I said, now that's what it feels like to get kicked in the mouth, Mark. He's a smart guy. I really enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, no, he's a brilliant guy. The thing that I think that Fourth Rope is getting right that AEW needs some help with is that it felt edgy, but it also felt fun. It felt like everybody could be a part of it. You know, I think AEW skews so hard to the frat boys and the spot monkey lovers that they're missing out on the big money. What WWE has done is taken a full production and made it the circus while still continuing short-term and long-term booking and great storytelling, even though I don't agree with a lot of their choices and the way that they book. Overall, they're reaching everybody and they're generationally raising people up the same way McDonald's goes from Happy Meals and when you grow up you get a Big Mac meal. With Fourth Rope, it comes down to taking what works. The merch works, the fun works, the celebrity appearances and wild things happening, the standing in the line and then showing people, panning that camera so that people can see what they're missing out and then using social media in order to do that. I don't know who Tony Khan has running their social, and I don't know who's in his writer's room, but the one thing both WWE and AEW have gotten wrong, again, and this is not me being biased, this is me telling the truth, is they let Mark Henry slip through their fingers. Period,
Didn't
point
utilize
blank.
what they had in front of them.
Because they didn't want to. And I can't speculate as to why, but I will tell you this. There's no Jade Cargill. There's no Bianca Belair. There's no Braun Strowman. There's no Baron Corbin. And I'm sorry, you can say whatever you want, but Samantha Irvin, in her generation, arguably the best ring announcer, you know, in a generation. What she did in order to enhance character, spot on. He sees it and he gets it, but they'll never give him the credit for it. And to me, when you're not listening to everybody and you're wasting talent, and there's a lot of black talent throughout the wrestling industry that gets wasted because they don't know how to write for them. They don't know what to do. They'll wish them best in their future endeavors.
But now they writing for it, but they writing for them on what they gave next.
NXT and TNA.
NXT, yeah, and TNA. We use all the blacks over there.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
They're
But
just
what
like-
they do
they're-
when they call them up is piss on that flame that they've got burning in NXT. Then they get to the main roster. I'm just going to throw a name out, Carmelo
Hayes.
Yeah, he's, to me, they're not using him correctly at all.
No, they
And
won't.
Well, right
and
now they got enough black guys up front.
Trick
They
Williams
hold on,
needs
but wait
to
a
be on
minute.
the main roster.
They got enough black guys running up front right now.
No.
They can't run too. The bloodline.
The bloodlines are Samoan, and all those Samoans have history in Ghana.
Somebody
Here you
might
go
need
again,
to,
Ernest.
somebody,
Here you go again.
somebody might need to tell them that. But right now they are the blacks.
The bloodline is the Bruno Mars of the wrestling industry.
You can't tell what it is.
Because they're Polynesian,
Yeah.
but they act black.
Yeah.
They damn sure 90% of them marry black, but they're
Yep.
just black enough. They're acceptable. Again, Dwayne Johnson, Booker T. And that's the thing. No, you can't tell me Carmelo Hayes doesn't have the look or the talent.
But the bloodline is they are
Phenomenal.
talented. They talented. The work they put in, I watch them all the time. Even my grandson, he's 3 years old. He watched the bloodline. So
Bro.
ain't nobody gonna complain about that.
No.
Nobody gonna complain about that. But you know what? You're right. I'd like to see them do a little bit more with some of the young talent, not even just black, but some of the young talent, because you know they can make room. They got to keep that wheel rolling, spitting them in and spitting them out. It's more fun to watch.
Right. I mean, even if you look at somebody like Jada Parker, she's ready now. I would have put her on the main roster before I put Lara Valkyria. I would have. The fact that you could have taken the Trick Williams Carmelo Hayes beef from NXT and put it on SmackDown and put it on Raw, and it's ratings gold. They fed off each other like Steamboat and Flair, like Bailey and Sasha. Like, at some point, you got to start saying, okay, why are we relegating these folks over there? Because what they're doing to Trick Williams is the same thing they did to Mark Henry. And nobody wants to talk about it. And I'm not saying Trick Williams hasn't gotten moments. Yeah, he had a moment with The Undertaker. But did you see the numbers? Like, I'm not watching the CW like that. I'll
Right.
watch the clips on YouTube the next day, but Trick Williams is main event. Hell, let's take NXT off the table for a minute. Montez Ford
Yeah,
is
Montez
the
Ford.
best of
That's who
everything.
That's who I was talking about. Yeah.
Montez Ford is the best of
They're
everything.
about to push him, I believe. I believe he's about to get that push, though. I believe they're
What
already-
what
They
make
are-
you
they are
what
about
make
to
you think
separate
that, Ray? Ray, what
because
make
they're
you
sep-
think that?
They're
Please, tell me.
separating them. They're separating the tag team, and he's going to be on his own.
Mhm.
And he's going to get that push. He's going to be your next U.S. champ, intercontinental champ, probably about 6 months. He'll be wearing one of those secondary titles, and then they'll kind of get that groundswell behind him because nobody's got a splash like he's got. Nobody does that aerial stuff like he does. He scares the hell out of me when he goes way up there like that. I
What
mean,
you
it's
saying?
just
Hey,
one miss away from.
What about Bobby Lashley?
Lashley's a
Phenomenal.
different cat.
He's a different guy. And to me, they didn't do what they should have done with him.
How do you fumble somebody twice?
How do you fumble something like that? He don't even look human. I
No,
don't
I mean,
care if he was.
honestly,
He could be green and blue.
I
That would
love
be
him. He's
somebody
not
I
the
would
best
watch
promo.
every time. Every time he come on TV, I will watch him.
Yeah.
But
But let's think about it honestly, and let's look at it objectively. I
Sure.
love him. I think if you're building a superstar from the ground up, he's going to look like Bobby Lashley when you get done.
exactly,
He's going to look like Randy Orton. He's going to look like Brock Lesnar.
As-
He's
there
going
you
to
go.
look like that. He's going to
There
look like
you go.
Goldberg.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's just not a good promo.
That
He's not
doesn't mean
believable.
anything. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything, Ray. I'm going to push back on it, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I can't speak for Ernest, but I know plenty of people who have referred to Bobby Lashley as Black Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar has developed his
I like
personality
that. I've
over
never
time.
heard that. That's really good.
While Brock has developed his personality over time, there was a reason there was a Paul Heyman. There was
That's
a
what I was
reason
getting
you
at.
had a
You're taking
Leo
the words
Rush.
out of my. I was
And you
gonna
had
say
an
the exact same
MVP.
thing.
He don't need to talk. How much talking did Taker do? Taker's been
much.
talking. Taker has been out since 1990 when Ted DiBiase introduced him. And at the end of the day, I don't know an entire paragraph that man has said on a microphone.
Nope. He talked more at his retirement speech than he's ever talked in his life.
I know
But
he
what
had
I'm
it
saying
in
is,
him.
Why didn't they put a good manager mouthpiece, somebody, a heat seeker with Bobby Lashley, or somebody who fought the good fight? Don't need the heat, but just needs the the pop from the crowd, because he was beloved and or booed. He got him either way. He was a good heel. He was a great baby face. He just was not a great promo. He's just not believable when he talks, because I guess it's his tone or his inflection and the way he's talking that makes me think he's a really nice guy.
Yes.
He's just a
it's
really
the truth.
nice guy.
But that's
Brock
again.
Lesnar looks like an asshole. He looks like a jerk.
Hey,
But he's
wait
a
a minute,
really nice
wait a
guy.
minute, wait a minute. Brock Lesnar might look like those things to you because you're afraid of him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm not afraid of him.
intimidated
So
as
what
fuck.
he looked like don't really trigger me in that way.
He'll beat
It's
your ass
what
too.
it depends. I mean, I doubt that, bro. I doubt that. I really
Listen, if
doubt
you
that.
if you're in a cornfield fighting him, my money's on you. If you in a phone booth, my money's on him.
Hey, you about to ask your boy.
You
You
in
about
an
to ask your boy.
elevator?
You
If you
about
in
to
an
ask your boy.
elevator, your
Hey,
ass is
hey,
cooked.
I'm deadly. Hey,
You better
I'm
hit
deadly.
number one on that fucking
Hey,
number on that
listen,
elevator. Get
bro.
the hell out of there.
Bro, I don't even have to talk to you about it because that's all you do is joke. I don't play about that. I'm
I
serious
understand.
about what I do.
Nobody's disrespecting
I'm serious about
Ernest
that,
and Cat
dude.
Miller.
Now, I
I'm
ain't
just
saying you
saying.
I mean, you got to, that's your belief. But Brock Lesnar look is not what kind of moved me to watch him. It's the storyline, the position he's put in to be that asshole, to be that bad guy.
That ass kicker.
He does pretty well. He
Yes.
does pretty well. Now you telling me they let Bobby Lashley get away for what? You
Twice.
put him in those same thing, he can do the same thing. Just
I agree 100%. He's very believable in the ring.
Yes,
you can't look
yes.
at him. You can't look at him and not see that he could rip somebody's freaking head off.
But my whole thing is, why are we
and by
looking
the
at
way,
him and seeing
by
dollar
the-
signs?
And by the way, you seen Brock Lesnar fight in the UFC ring. You saw what
Yes.
happened to him.
Yes. Yeah.
You never see that happen to me back in my day when I was fighting.
No.
Nobody beat my motherfucking head by swinging at me like that. Nobody. So I think you might need to rethink that, fat boy.
Ray,
I don't
Ray,
know
Ray,
about
you over
that.
there
I
triggering a
don't know.
legend. You're
No,
triggering a
I
legend
just,
right now.
he know how to do it. We always go at it like that. We ain't got nothing to do with that.
But
I probably can't beat. Hey, I can't beat everybody, but I can beat somebody, and that somebody is Ray. Now go ahead.
no, but my whole thing is, all you needed was a Paul Heyman. All you needed was a
Exactly.
Teddy Long.
Oh my goodness, they would never put that combination together because it'll
I'm
work.
sorry. Here's one for you, and people are going to argue me down about this, but all you needed was to give Leo Rush a little bit more time, and Bobby Lashley would have been fine with him.
Oh, man.
You pulled Leo Rush away from Bobby Lashley, and you left him naked. Then the Hurt Business was the hottest thing in pro wrestling. The hottest thing in pro wrestling pre-Bloodline.
But I think
How fun
Leo
would it have been
Rush.
to watch the Hurt Business and the Bloodline go at it?
Box office.
I mean, you got the mouthpiece right there. You got MVP versus Paul Heyman on the stick, and then you got Shelton Benjamin, you got Bobby Lashley, and whoever else they could pull in there. I mean, good God, you could have got Trick. You could have. I mean, they could have built the black version of the Four Horsemen.
They could have rotated them like Menudo.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, listen here. I love talking to y'all. We got into it deep tonight. We talked about a little bit of everything,
We got to do
man.
this again.
But you know, let me tell you something, Dave. Where
Yes,
can
sir.
people go to get your book, man? Tell them about it.
So again, the book is called The Real Black Agenda. It's got my beautiful smiling face on it. You can get it at therealblackagenda.com or where books are sold. Anywhere where books are sold, you can get it, but go to therealblackagenda.com. Amazon, Audible, absolutely everywhere. We got the comic book too. So, you know, you can definitely get it at The Real Black Agenda. My Instagram is @TheBusinessBully. You can order it direct.
Big Ray, you got anything you moving on? You getting away
Boom.
with? Oh, okay, there you go.
There it is, right there.
Yeah, buddy.
You've been lied to, baby. We're here to set the record straight.
Yes, sir.
So, Big Ray, what you got anything going on that you want people to pay attention to?
Man, I'm just I'm taking off for Chicago here next week to go watch my beloved Cowboys beat up on them Bears. And the next week I'll be in Dallas watching them beat up on Green Bay. So
I'm so
that's
sorry,
what I
Ray.
got going on.
I thought you were going to sponsor my book tour, and then I found out you're a Cowboys fan. This is horrible. did you happen to see the game with the Eagles? Did you see the Eagles game?
I saw that, and you did too, and you were nervous all the way up to the very end.
He's only a Cowboy fan when Stephen A. Smith is around. But anyway, Big Cody,
That's
listen here, Big Dave.
blasphemy.
Dave,
Blasphemy, Cat. You don't know.
Thanks for coming on, man. Here,
Thank
having
you, sir.
entertaining people, man.
Absolutely, we'll do it
And,
again.
it was
soon.
fun having you, and I look forward to getting you on. You know,
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to talk about
talk.
the 21 other books that you've written also.
I got
This-
plenty.
He
Yeah.
said you had 22. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
22 books?
22. The
Awesome,
23rd
man.
drops on November 18th.
Awesome. What's the title?
Weapons of Mass Distraction.
Love it. This guy's on it, dude.
he's
Y'all
on there.
might be asleep, but he's about to wake your ass up.
So
I need Ray in my life.
yeah. So listen here, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having you, and you know we'll talk.
Yes,
We'll
sir. I
talk.
appreciate you. Thank you
All
so
right,
much,
man.
man.
All right,
I'll
big
see you
guy.
soon.
See you
Bye-bye,
soon,
Dave.
big guy.
Bye-bye.
Somebody call my mama.
Hey, Cody.
That was a great show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of Cody, the
Cody,
best damn
thanks for
producer
doing
there
that.
ever was.
Cody, what you doing that little old TV in the back there, bro? How you have
We
one
got
of
an
those?
old and a new TV.
We
I
got,
know
we
it.
got Sega Genesis on that.
I like that
64-bit.
TV. That's what I had in my college dorm. A
I got some
TV just
VHSs
like
down
that.
there too.
Do
He
you?
played Tecmo Bowl. He played Tecmo Bowl on that thing. Go boop.
Hey, Cody, we didn't put the link in the
We
thing,
have.
did we?
I mean, y'all have been talking for an hour and 23 minutes straight.
Oh,
I don't.
okay,
I-
all right.
we-
We did not need another person.
Okay, all right.
It's one of the best
Nathan-
shows we've done. I want to thank everybody because we're still live.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
yeah.
we need
Start
a,
talking
Shut
about
it
our
down. Shut it down, big. Shut it down, man.
Thanks for joining us on the Cat's Corner. Until next time.
Peace out. Peace out.